All right, we're working on the final exam. Here is a review. Number one, we're trying to find the vertex. The x coordinate for the vertex is x equals negative b over 2a. In this case, a is 3, b is 6, and c is 7. So this is equal to negative 6 over 2 times 3, which is negative 6 over 6, which is negative 1. To find the y-coordinate for the vertex, you need to plug in negative 1 for x into the function. This is 3 times negative 1 squared plus 6 times negative 1 plus 7. And doing the math right, this is 3 minus 6 plus 7. This is 10 minus 6. This is 4. The vertex is negative 1, 4. Number 2 is a similar question, but we're answering a few more things about it. First, find the vertex, and although the vertex is not asked for, finding the vertex helps answer all of these questions. The vertex again is located, the x-coordinate is located at negative b over 2a. A in this case is 1, b is negative 4, c is negative 5. Doing the calculation, x equals negative 4 over 2 times 1. That is 4 over 2, which is 2. The x-coordinate vertex is 2. We know now how to find the y-coordinate. You take 2 and you plug it into the original function. That's 2 squared minus 4 times 2 minus 5. That's 4 minus 8 minus 5. That's 4 minus 13. That's negative 9. The vertex is 2, negative 9. And as I had just mentioned, you are not specifically asked for the vertex, but the vertex helps you answer the rest of these questions, and it helps you plot it because the axis of symmetry is x equals 2, and it is that 2. The domain of any quadratic function is minus infinity to infinity. That's always going to be the answer to that one. And a notation. And now we need the range. So in order to do the range, we need two things. Since a is 1 and is positive, the function has a minimum. And negative 9 is the minimum. Again, that's that negative 9. So that means that the range is minus 9 to infinity. In order to draw this, that's the answer to this question. In order to draw this, you need to go to the vertex. The vertex is 2, negative 9. And now we need one more point, and that point is going to be negative 5 because you get it by plugging in 0 in for x. So plugging in 0 for x gets you negative 5. And there you have it. 1, 2, 1, 2. So something like this. So you need 2 points. You need the y-intercept. So f of 0 is 0 squared minus 4 times 0 minus 5. And that equals negative 5. And that is the negative 5 here. Roughly the same question. Here, a is equal to 2, b is negative 16, c is negative 7. Because a is positive, and that's bigger than 0, then you have a minimum. If it was negative, it would be a maximum. To find the maximum minimum values of this and where it occurs, in this case it's the minimum. In order to find the minimum value, you need to find the vertex. x is equal to negative b over 2a, that is negative 16 over 2 times 2. That's 16 over 4. That's 4. The vertex occurs at 4. To find the minimum value, you plug that 4 into the function 2 times 4 squared minus 16 times 4 minus 7. 4 squared is 16. 16 times 2 is 32. 16 times 4 is negative 64 minus 7. 32 minus 71 is a very funky 39, negative 39. The minimum value is negative 39. The domain is always minus infinity to infinity. The range now is going to be negative 39, the minimum value, and there is no maximum value, so you put infinity. Here's a calculator problem. 566 is the answer to A, and then now you're plugging in 27 into this function. 566 times 1.026 to the 27th. Here, 2028 looks like it's 54 years later, so 566 times 1.026 to the 54th. And again, we need decimal approximations to these, rounding to the nearest million. And then this one is 81 probably. 26 to the 81st. And you'll see when you do all these calculations that it's growing by a factor of 2. Solve however you like. This is a quadratic equation. So first of all, bring the 5 over on one side. And you can use the quadratic formula if you want, or you can factor. Factors of 2 go here. The factors of 5 need to go here and here so that you get a 3 in the middle. And 5 here, 1 here, and that has a plus, and that has a minus. So it's a guessing game to see how you can get a 3 in the middle. And so then once you do that, then you set each one equal to 0 and solve. So 2x plus 5 is equal to 0, and x minus 1 is equal to 0. So 2x is equal to negative 5, and x is equal to negative 5 over 2, or x is equal to 1. You separate with a comma, negative 5 over 2, comma 1. Find the average rate of change of the function f of x equals x squared plus 8x from 3 to 7. The average rate of change is f of b minus f of a over b minus a. So we're going to plug in 7, plug in 3, subtract and divide by 4. So f of 7 is 7 squared plus 8 times 7. That is a 49 plus 56. That is a 105. F of 3 is 3 squared plus 8 times 3. That's 9 plus 24. That's 33. And then f of 7 minus f of 3 all over 7 minus 3. That's 105 minus 33 all over 4. 105 minus 33 is 92. Sorry. That's 72 divided by 4. The answer, 18. To find the zeros of this function, you set it equal to 0 and solve. The zeros are when x is 3 or x is negative 4. The smallest of these zeros is negative 4, and so the multiplicity of a 0 is the power associated with that number, and so here it's 3. The multiplicity of the largest 0, well, that's the multiplicity of 3. That would be the number 1 here. And determine whether the graph crosses the leftmost zero. The leftmost zero is negative 4, and if the multiplicity is odd, that means it crosses the x-axis. So the multiplicity of 3 was, the multiplicity of negative 4 was 3. 3 is odd, and so it crosses. The multiplicity of the other 0 is also odd, so that also crosses the x-axis. To solve this, if e to the x equals 13.6, this means that x is the natural log of 13.6, and that is exactly what goes here. We need a decimal approximation for that. For part B, rounding it to 2 decimal places, going into the calculator, you can do 13.6. I need to take the natural log of it. 2.61 is the answer rounded to 2 decimal places. Here we're plugging in. F of 5 is 5 squared minus 8 times 5 plus 5. That's 25 minus 40 plus 5. That's 30 minus 40. Negative 10. F of x plus 9 is x plus 9 squared minus 8 times x plus 9 plus 5. When you FOIL this, that's the thing to keep in mind, FOIL, you get x squared plus 18x plus 81. Distribute this 8 minus 8x minus 72 plus 5. X squared, how many x's do we have? 10x. 81 minus 72 is 9 plus 5 is 14. X squared plus 10x plus 14. F of negative x is what you would get wherever there's an x, you put negative x, so that's negative x squared minus 8 times negative x plus 5, that equals x squared plus 8x plus 5, and that goes there. For the domain, set the denominator equal to 0. Solve. So x minus 6 times x plus 3 is equal to 0. This means that x minus 6 is equal to 0, or x plus 3 is equal to 0, in which case x is 6, or x is equal to negative 3. The answer, negative 3 comma 6. Separate with a comma. Plug one function into the other, f of g of x, you go to f, which is x plus 4, and put g wherever there's an x. And so it becomes 4x plus 3 plus 4. That is 4x plus 7. G of f is 4 times x plus 4 plus 3. That is 4x, distribute the 4 plus 16 plus 3. That is 4x 19. F of g of 2, you just take the 2 and you plug it in here for x. That's 4 times 2 plus 7. That's 8 plus 7. That number is 15. G of f of 2, in a similar way, you replace that x with a 2. 4 times 2 plus 19 is 8 plus 19. That number is 27. In determining the graph of this quadratic function, we recognize that every quadratic function originally looks like the one that starts at the origin, and now we just need to see how this one is moved. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 to the left, it means that we're moving 4 on the inside, and on the inside it's the opposite, and therefore it needs to be x moving to the left plus 4 squared, and I'm moving it up, 1 up on the outside. See. Solve the system when using the substitution method. So 7x plus 8y is equal to negative 8. And I know that 3x minus y is equal to 32, but this means that y is equal to 3x minus 32. So now we're going to solve for y. So substitution, this is 7x plus 8 times 3x minus 32 is equal to negative 30. It's equal to negative 8. Right, so then 7x plus distribute, that's 24x minus 256, and that equals negative 8. Solving for x now, 31x minus 256 is equal to negative 8. 31x is equal to, that would be 247. Divide both sides by 31. X is, 248. X is 8. We need y. Well, y is 3 times x minus 32, but that's from this. But we just found out that x is 8, so it's 3 times 8 minus 32. So that's 24 minus 32, so y is negative 8. The answer you put in is negative 8, positive 8 for x, and negative 8 for y. For this one, you set the denominator equal to 0. X plus 2 is equal to 0, which means x is equal to negative 2. And the answer is negative 2 there. When you solve this one, you're going to multiply everything by x plus 2. So 4x over x plus 2 equals 6 minus 8 over x plus 2. When you multiply everything by, you need to multiply everything by the common denominator, which is x plus 2. The whole point of doing this is that the denominators cancel. These x plus 2's cancel. You're left with a 4x. 6 times x plus 2. We're going to distribute that in just a moment. And then x plus 2 and this x plus 2's, they cancel, and then you're left with minus 8. 4x is equal to 6x plus 12 minus 8. 4x is equal to 6x plus 4. Negative 2x is equal to 4. X is equal to negative 2. But that cannot be the answer, and so that is no solution. If you get anything else other than negative 2, then you would just put that here as the answer. But if you get the same thing as you got in part A, then there's no solution. Solve the inequality. 11 is less than or equal to 2x plus 3, which is less than or equal to 15. Subtract 3 on both sides. 8 is less than or equal to 2x, which is less than or equal to 12. And then divide everything by 2. 4 is less than or equal to x, which is less than or equal to 6. The interval, that's the interval 4 to 6. That is D. When we're solving this, then we actually need to solve x minus 1 times x plus 3 is equal to 0. That is a number line. So this means that x equals 1 or x equals negative 3. Put negative 3 and 1 on the number line, and then we need to pick values for x minus 1 times x plus 3. So x minus 1 times x plus 3, we're looking for a negative sign. So when we pick 30 minus 1 times 30 plus 3 is a positive number. So it's a positive. Pick 0. You put 0 in there, you get negative 1 times positive 3, which is a negative number. And then when you do negative 10, negative 11 times a negative 7, which is a positive, and we're looking for the negatives, right? And so the answer is negative 3 to 1 in parentheses. Negative 3 to 1 half. Open. X minus 7 over x squared minus 10x plus 21. You can factor that as x minus 7 over x minus 7 times x minus 3. That's factoring the denominator. Notice that you can cancel out the x minus 7s. That means that there's a hole at 7, and there's a vertical asymptote at x equals 3. So a hole where you can cancel. A hole is where you can cancel. Lines, y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. This is the point 3,1, and this is the point 1,0. The point we're going to use is y1 is 0 and x1 is 1. x1 is 1 and y1 is 0. We need the slope. The slope is 0 minus 1 over 1 minus 3. That equals negative 1 over negative 2. The slope is 1/2. The answer to part 1 is y minus 0 equals m, which is 1/2, times x minus 1. And then in slope-intercept form, that's just distribute 1/2 x minus 1/2. Finally, to solve this, you have 7 natural log of 2x equals 35. Divide both sides by 7. The natural log of 2x is equal to 5. And then this means that e to the 5th equals 2x. Divide both sides by 2. X is e to the 5th over 2. You put that in for the first part. To the 5th over 2. And then for the second part, you need the decimal approximation. 5 e to the 5th divided by 2, 74.21. Running the 2 decimal places. All right, I hope it helps. I'm going to be in class today to take any final questions that you have. Appreciate it.